Bhutan is known to be a country with rich natural resources. Among them, fresh water in terms of per capita availability is one of the highest as compared to many other nations. However, shortage of irrigation and drinking water has been reported in almost all parts of the country. It has impeded the scope of farming in many rural areas. Much to the relief of farmers and communities, the De-suung National Service Water Project has come to the rescue now. It has brought joy and happiness to the farmers. Inspired by the royal address of His Majesty the King to the nation on 12 September 2020, calling on the youth to engage meaningfully in the process of nation building amidst the pandemic, the project commenced last year. The royal address highlighted the potential for the youth to develop water projects in consideration of the importance of safe, reliable drinking water for the people and the nation.
다다리 나준수기 동가튼 개합기 겔용 추기 시점 디다 데비기 시딩 코체수 로자베 투페 딩디베 샵투슈 달레파에 개합기 랑고 랑두기 미글 사퉁기 숭좁디 땐 도도베 시축베 마옹벌레 남지기 제디 퉁추다 신추디 요 규톱디 껴라 껴니디기 잠링날로 막추다 나추에 딜레텐디 베티올 딩알렌 딩아체라 나준수기 차 슈다바진 개합기 추디 단지 레짐베탑 뒤 아따랑 아체라 미셀루 펜 토페 요규 단줄루 데 개합기 이진기 노업세 개합기 도테 짜 치토도데 코로나 바이러스 투미기 냠들루 나준수기 로니 디지 데 동가튼 겐박 데 차치슈이기 둡데 봄지임발.
Inspired by the royal vision, the De-suung office moved forward and shouldered the responsibilities to transform the lives of villagers by providing access to proper drinking and irrigation water. The first water project began from Guma-gyeok in Punakha last year, coinciding with the birth anniversary of His Majesty the 4th Dukelpo. This is Docho Risachiwok in Guma-gyeok under Punakha Dzongkhag. It is located along the banks of Mochu. The residents in this village was hit by an acute water shortage for decades. For years, people in this village resorted to nearby streams and fetch water from Mochu. Residents said water scarcity situation was distressing.
Tetele pa ko chile ngachi aya pulusu aileji tengachi male rusi shinadi gibe te yalma ngachi gi chuten bebete uni teta rese job jobra thungla rese thenerami te nam thecha bai ngale ma palera ya kamra kamno mela nima la bela jina alu yu chap jigo be te phoge male sangshire chuodra ane bra be gola chu kan ka to toral gola chuya to ba mara jogola chu thamara alu gola sachira ba te mani be jodi ngachi kangya be chuila ngachi
tengali de la te ta ngache ta ki ta lo tukure gude che asila ane son nga choe kanya nam se mi la tenga nya kholomi chudi te nam se mi choba behla te yipile te ngache nagi te torero gewana le da jongi te post na be te thungchudi te ati sahil hale nimbe te ire mi mane digi te tigi chugi kanya te nam se mi la te ngachi mi nyusa di travel roma sa di te lachi bebe bere namase mukanye dula ngachi te mi nyumesu de ati travel
no so mamalu te nembe me tenga tsar de mesula te chu khadebe otungo betela me boletela te tsachune bere te ngapa chang ni te chang chu bom me chang se ta huli di ta huli de la me chu bom chang se chung ku di jaw jo yin se te terabiru chang shin ma me maleta ta de chom na chi te ta chu sim me go we se o wa se ma shi yin de na gi na ho ne chu dra o thong mo de la se ta o go de la
추 해마 추 안좀 프로젝트 아니 마보다든 추강을 통해라 맴 대가지 추디수 라베 되는 우두 몰라 맴 추디수 아니 마장실로 오고라 맴 마장실로 오고 되는 좀 장다 디수에 시스템이 와라 맴 추말 추메비간 레디 네세 장다 시스템이 스베라 맴
해마 배와 진짜 추디 까니디 ngachi chu tamaidi ya ka te ani be yalama thembe lam josalwa be ni digi te chap chop na me se me nu sem che angani ma chamdi te na me se me ani ngache na alu beru ngachara beru chatem ta bane be me bala jata jota jon dige.
The villagers said that growing population led to shortage of water as many water sources were shrinking or drying up altogether. Moved by the villagers' daily plight, the De-suung National Service Water Project took up the initiative to provide safe drinking water and water for irrigation purposes.
The De-suung National Service started this water projects as an aspiration from His Majesty himself, and we drew the inspiration from His Majesty's address on 12th September in 2020, when His Majesty called upon the youths of Bhutan to come forward and participate in nation building. So drawing the inspirations from there, we are trying to inculcate, or we are trying to develop skills in De-sups in a very informal way. We are not spending fund to develop different skills by organizing trainings and workshops. We engage them in our projects where they get to do a on-job training and then also develop their skills.
For the young De-sups, it was a back-breaking work, which demanded great effort and endurance. Though working under scorching heat and extreme cold was tiring and exhausting, the inspirational words of His Majesty the King didn't deter them from carrying out the arduous job. For most of them, it was learning a lifetime skill, since they were carrying out such project for the first time.
legal gidinalu chamato begirinlu te maji te da bhale ombi kapsulu te la the desup desu kate be suano with the tokpa bomber yusuni la irura te na he be kapsulu te nyamnyong mi te chungkungalu pechatta te la sachi bebo mewale tendigi te dokpa bom chago min ne din diletin di juin suni la irura te dunjachi de chi de kong asiji kauchemela namra tosida tare mazum letendige be ta dunjachi gi nangkhunara te datu bewachin ta dude bomchibe jundi dinalu machi desum yamrus katulebe matu tubbe te chichu ganchu gi tole ngachi cha shudigi be te dala pha bewachin thungchu gi leyurdinalu katera jodira berura te kongi besubda chasubbe yadi seshunila.
I think it's a very good platform, and the youth should come forward just like us, and the youth out here have a very spiritually high. Challenges I faced was like we cannot do equally, like carrying a heavy load, like carrying a cement, and then working for like 2 hours in a jungle, in a forest.
The De-sups were seen working tirelessly to connect the Chiwuks with Chajap Menchu water source. The water source is located a few kilometers away from the Giwuk. Her Royal Highness Princess Chimi Yangzomwanchu graced the occasion of handing over the project to the local government.
다 도도보시는 세답 도도도라면 추침나주 되는 kola hinsang sa jagoro jaswe tin hyunthali du su chuan zum bero no se tap de to do lo ngachi mi se du su gi bego poshin losum jide chide goni mela mem kaji mola bashin di ngachi mi se du nyamnyung mi mola tam chilu nyamnyung mi tilenip chilu mi kochep disu anzumbe kochep disun na yukhadi mi mola mem ke era jungi la be anzumbe be me tene yukhan mi achi gi shosang asra me mer mane boda di losum jide chi ma pale goni mela mem losum jide chi goni gi na di hongi lochi malam le chap subdalu ngachi na se kadin ka soyla mem kadin ka su ta khadebe chamni ne me shibela mem miwanga dar muchi gi hanzum ki du zibe ngachi kadin ka su khadebe chamni ne me shibela mem kamchi michele miche an kadin chamro kadin cham sumni me suni
ngachi an chai sei de la de ta ne na musem ka chi se de chu de thong shi de na ra gi tha kom tha kana pa ju mo pe de nan me ke na de ga ya de
The beneficiary currently includes 225 households with a population of over 1,900 people. The completion of the first project was a great milestone in the history of the water project. Meanwhile, villagers in other parts of the country also waited for their turns to reap the benefit of the water project. One of the largest integrated water supply projects in Semjonggeok in Chirang completed recently. And now the farmers are all with smiles as they can irrigate over 200 acres of land and have access to proper drinking water. With the commencement of the water supply project, 14 acres of fallow land in Thangrega Chiwuk have been brought back to cultivation from this year. The farmers in the Dzongkhag produces a variety of fruits and vegetables throughout the year.
Achilu chugi kangel na samai chugi kangeli chu thuni gi mato dele nu lu nu semsen soni gi etam nam semechi chu mebara kangel thaila te dangpa sa cha lesem mi pura achichi gepa samchi be richek jong mula te ani be te nam seme chudi ma hokana le phajo chugi kangel nam seme then de dato sungi nam seme karin chebe nam seme faida sungi nam seme kauche ngachi gi ikagi kangel thodi gi be sungi ngachi lu nam seme rorom bom naila te nam seme ra ngachi nam seme sem gaila te sem ai ga da ngachi gi chagendi gachira beru ta ngachi age disu beru ra nam seme towa sabji beru gachira beru nam seme gi towa ani be beni gi charsi nanale nam seme ila
ta 명아들이 무지기 ngachalu chugi ta legirchi na shinabe ta chapsu cheuse 명아들이 무치 kusirin chusi na sa nyung chusi ngachi jugya khabdi lochi yarji jochusibdi melam tamme maduchi bele te shindigi te dadiki penmeto simidi no som tamme mi la dibese churuya da ngachi misiji suberoya dadi jachale ja semseji subero dile gachiro bero gachir tabdi bero hemale hakdigibe yarja tangi no som maduchi bele ta bemi suchamisu sumidi gayami ta hema semabe dumijuse ta doro shungi project ondo siu ganglen sema imejuse zam kare hengsang suzui seshunil.
The project has benefited more than 70 families. So far, the De-suung National Service Water Project completed over 19 such projects across the country.
Tetari shabki ngatarin bachi ki kodile da chudi de ko ha chenchena da te so tisu kau chi la ane be bendi chudi da matutu bre he chi la kwa
ye ma de ya ri khale thong ko la chu tele nam chap cha ani khau jap ta de nam same chu ani theni la singi shom thana le tanga ta ki bi kodile nam same tu chi ta pum de desina le nga che tang sip ta sinyep di.
We have catered to all the 20 Dzongkhags. One of the criteria of selection is we try to make it regionally balanced. one project in all the Dzongkhaks. We haven't left Kasa, we haven't left the Dzongkhaks in the south also. So we have touched all 20 Dzongkhaks. We wouldn't have any specific reason for selecting a site, but one driving factor would be the scarcity of water, the urgency. The project sites that we have undertaken we have the communities who have been struggling for water for decades. They have the taps, but there is no running water. Their water source would have already dried up, and then they have been struggling.
Currently, over 1,700 De-suungs volunteered for the water projects that would serve the villages across the country.
One instruction we received is His Majesty should be able to identify the project undertaken by De-suung and then a project taken by a contractor just by observing. So which means the constructions undertaken by the De-suung should be of high standard and high quality. So when we involve De-suungs in undertaking such projects, we are indirectly trying to teaching them that the quality should not be compromised.
While transforming the lives of the villagers by providing access to safe and reliable drinking water, the De-suungs gained valuable technical experience in design, construction and supervision of a fairly complex construction project. They were trained in mechanized construction methods and also introduced to higher quality construction standards.
From the project sites, most of our De-suungs, they have gained the skills in masonry, plumbing, basic electrification, and then of course those bar binding, and then also the construction of the intake tanks. It takes quite a skill in Mela.
They got many experience in different field. We have a pipe joining, automation part, sensor, then in a different concrete section.
The De-suung National Service Water Project has made everyday life much easier for families and communities. It has also helped revive some of the agricultural land left fallow for many years. They say that their problem has now been solved and expressed their gratitude to the De-suung National Service Water Project and to His Majesty the King.
출레베로 당하지 남에세메데 보스디스에 가라 디스 마음에 디스기 다랑 거 중국제 맞아봐 거절로 보스데 나 베베베 거리라 맞지 다 최 남에세메 가토토 자 토토베 다가 같이레테 해마에 통추 중국집디 남에세메 거이테 더러베레 다디데 가다가기 메셀라다 다 코나기 옆세술로 데다 괜찮다 포마 중노디 초셔나로 멜럼지라다로 안 해봐라다 디일라 맞지 차지 세베베로 같이 밤이 쓰듯이 다 가래 대비 배봉 라에 다 쳄죠 뭐 필에 남에세메 nga다를 무책이 다 코라 옆세술로 괜찮다 차 포마주 ngachigi 밤이 세베레 가토토 키통도 바라 디
ngache nata ngacharagi begondi bemi subela ngachegi begoba진 때도 짐 딜렌 라 아니 짐니 아니 미시티르라미 톱라 ngache 나로 때 다루 안에베 때 답병기 나실레 때로 코나 대숨수기베 때 kaukani mache ba chap taila ngache na tanga chekani khani me ba thume te tamyonga dari mochigi kuda timale raila ta jendi ngache na chuna me seme kani yula ngache thuchu 다 추사 회실에 딩가 제 장다 남에스메 땡스벨라 회차 추루 골라 추루 다때 지우가니 메바네 춘니둘라 헤마딩가 제 추안에 사치자 추곤디길라 회차 추미숲 텔렌 골라 추미숲라 추안에 왜 디나 사치 자곤디라 nga 팔레스이 퉁추디 남에스메 까니유니디길라 다 추샤라 캠트니 메바 다 다레디디다 다 뱅기스라 나실랭가 제 회차 추니 베루 골라 추니 베루 제 피제베 추베가 저라 땅아 튀튀 베수벨라
울라 인생님 진짜 먹어 통춘한가나 고카뜨나 버스 잡나 자 잡으라 중레나 남스메 가다게 상에 주방원 봐라 인이라 당가지 까지 다 조라 무슨메라 가지게 가지는 거 토면서 알수 거 토게 가다게 까지 샤 무슨메라 가지 남스메 냐르 두레 남스메 가다게 브라 지지부게더라 남근쳐서래 란다게브라 인이라 당가지 가다게부기 남스메 당가지 냠가 또또 베시고디 신이투 베사마고메데 가다게비 까디라 추차 칼로만고메데 가다게비 까디라 당가지 남스메 냠 가지 고타라 남스메 냠 가더라 다타마디테 당가지 알수 고토리데 딜레가 우베나 아니메라 남스메 가이라 가지